We've heard that goal setting and manifestation are a big part of like how you've gotten to where you are today. When did that start in your career?
That started when I met my wife.
Okay.
My wife was very. It's crazy when I first met her. You know, we started to figure out like we were meant for each other. She said, you know, like it's crazy. Like I manifested this. I'm like weird. like what you mean? You like you stalked me or something? Like huh? Like what? I like manifest? Like I don't even know what man. So you know, so obviously you know I asked her about it. We talk about it. I'm like, well, that sounds pretty cool. And then first couple years in the league didn't go how I wanted it to go. Found myself, I got cut. I was on the practice squad for a little bit, and then I'm a fringe 52nd, 53rd guy, you know, playing special teams, trying to make my name on there. You know, I never felt comfortable, you know, my first 2 years in the league. And she just kept telling me, like, you know, you should try manifest. I said, I am, you know, I'm tired, you know, I want to be great, you know. She's like, no, like, it's bigger than that, you know, like, you got to. So I'm like, all right, you know, I'm done with this. I've got to do research. So I'm doing my own research. You know, because, you know, you never listen until you do it yourself. You know, that's how just people are in general. So I started doing a little bit of research. You know, we do research together. And then, you know, we just get an idea, like, you know, let's start writing stuff down. You know, so we go from starting writing stuff down. She's like, all right, how about let's get a goal board? So all right, that sounds good. So we get a goal board. You know, I start writing stuff down on a goal board. I'm like, this doesn't. My handwriting sucks. Like I don't even read my own handwriting. Like you should see my notebooks. Like I write. Like my brain works different. Like I write just to think I'm writing. I don't write to go back and read it. You know,
right.
I write just to write it. You know, to make myself remember it for the repetition. So I barely was reading the board. So my wife started writing it, and once my wife started writing it on the board, that's when it started to click for me. So I just. Every day we started reading the board, and like I would just notice it more, and then things started to fall in line. And the more things started to fall in line, the more I started manifesting. The more I started looking into it. I'm a big yogi. I do yoga a lot, and yoga, you know, you meditate. And I started using my yoga practices to manifest, and it was just like, dang, like so many things happened in a year of my life, from my second year in the league to third year in the league, and then from this year to from last year to this year, and it was like I credit a lot of it to manifestation. And you know, if my wife never told me about it, I would have probably never done it.
Right.
But I think it does work, and I think your mind does play a big part of just how you go about your daily activities or daily thoughts. You know, I think it does play a big part of just, you know, who you are as a person at the end of the day.
Well, and just that mindset. I'm sure when you were on the practice squad, you probably had some negative thoughts.
Terrible thoughts. I mean, I literally used to think like days of cut days, ever since the day I got cut, every day, like the days of cut days were my most stressful days of the year by far. Like I'm like, my phone ringing, I'm like pissed that people like don't even call me. Like, what are you doing? Like you know how stressed I am. Like me and my wife in the house, like cooped up like this, like panicking, you know, like one of those. So, you know, I'm telling myself like, oh, I must not be that good.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I'm going off of what the coaches are. You know, you're not good enough to play right now. Like and it hurt, but like I was feeding myself these negative thoughts, instead of telling myself like, you know, I'm getting there eventually, you know, this is just part of the story kind of thing. So like, that's what I tell myself now. Like when things aren't going my way, like I just tell myself like my end goal is still going to happen. It's just how I'm gonna get there. You know, all of this is the process. So that's why like I fall in love with the process, because like I just like whatever has to happen to get me to the goal I'm manifesting has to happen. So that's just what I tell myself. That's like, it's a mindset thing. And I try no negative thoughts, especially about football, because, you know, that's what I want to be super successful in. So, you know, I try I transfer it to my daily life as well, you know, just about being a better person, being a great husband, being a great father, and, you know, just being a great son, just everything. So manifesting is definitely a mindset, and it's not just a one thing, you know, it's a everything.
Yeah. What are some examples of like the manifestations that you've put out there? Like,
so my first thing I wrote on the board was to start. I wanted to have my first season where I didn't just play special teams. You know, I wanted to play on defense. I wanted to start. That was one of the first things I wrote on there. I had, I mean, pretty much everything I've accomplished in the past year has been on the board. Like contract extension was on there. Crazy too, because I was the first one in our class to get a contract extension. I got guys like Justin Jefferson in my class. You know, it's crazy. But, you know, I put it on the board and watched it come true and checked it off. Stats was on there. I mean, I hit every stat I wanted, but majority of all my stats are on there. It's like every sack, every tackle I had was probably on that board. I've had like daily stats. I've had game stats. I've had just season stats. Being a captain was a big thing. That was actually capitalized on the board. After it was start, but then I was like, all right, actually I hold captain higher, so I ended up putting start down and putting captain as the first one, and exclamation. Like that's something I'm really proud of, and I really take pride in.